Hey team, so one of the things really amazing about forms is that they're like a table of contents of all the different martial arts techniques and self-defenses we might do. And working through and finding those practical, something like that, applications is huge. Now, one of the advanced degree forms that we do is this form called Kempo 6, and it is 6 self-defenses lined up together back to back to back, which makes it one, fairly easy to learn for an advanced degree black belt form, and two, it's a real good first step into partner forms because the partner who is attacking, they're really only doing the same 6 attacks. It's fairly basic. It's not a lot of complicated back and forth. That's right, I'm Daffy Duck. So we're going to pull in, okay, so last videos, I'll be honest, they're very boring. I was very slow talking, and I was made fun of for it. I was bullied pretty badly for it. And I was bullied by the very few people who I can't handle being bullied by. So you know what? Now you're getting this. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. So, there are 6 attacks that are going to be happening. The first attack is going to be a roundhouse punch to the side of my face, roundhouse punch to the other side of my face, straight punch, roundhouse punch, roundhouse punch. Excellent, I defend them all successfully. My face is unharmed, and he tried to hit me 6 times. Now, really important, the roundhouse punches I think are the most important self-defenses that we can work on because the reality of most people who are attacking you is it looks like wild swinging haymaker punches, either leaning forward or leaning backward. The other thing that I think is really important is you can actually practice this by doing one self-defense one side, one self-defense the other side. As he steps and swings, I step in. This is similar to a side stance. It's a very high side stance because it's a more practicable self-defense form. I come in with that double blading chop. Chop here, squeeze here. Then I start to rotate in. I chop to the face. I want to aim for right turn model. Right there. The fun spot that we call the knockout point on the jaw. I'm sure somebody has a better name for it. Congratulations. I'm going to palm him toward the face again. I like that sideways push. That way I can really make sure my fingers are going the right direction. I go uppercut right to the ribs. From here, notice I'm still in that very sideways stance. He swings his other roundhouse punch. I pull back just a little bit so I get my parry. It's a very aggressive press to outward block. And when I feel I've got that spot, it immediately should rack through. My goal is to go straight through the face and hit to the groin. The way we can practice this, we can actually go back and forth just working on Kempo 1 and Kempo 2. So we've got 2 self-defenses already tied together, and we're a third of the way through the form. That's 1 and 2. So the way this is set up, you've got 2 roundhouse punches, 2 straight punches, 2 roundhouse punches. So your next punch is a straight with the right. Ah, excellent. Good job, Panto. Sorry, British thing. Now, let's start from da-da-da-da. We are here. He does a straight punch. I pull back. It's a parry. My right hand comes up with what we call a brush block, where I cover and I step and slide in. My right hand's going to pin his hand. I'm going to turn it and elbow up. You're going to choose not to break your partner's elbow, except if it's this one, because you know what? He doesn't need this. I then push the hand down, elbow to the face. From there, he does a straight punch with the other hand. I pull back, and I pull and grab in. We call this a craning block. Palm to the face, and I'm going to step in, punch down to the kidney. You could do that back and forth. What you can also do, you could just start with a straight punch. And I come, parry brush block, elbow up, down elbow, crane palm, punch the kidney. Or, and now if you want to get creative, we can do Kempo 1 plus Kempo 3. He has his roundhouse punch, chop, palm, upper. Then from here, he's going to do a straight left punch. I do a little bit of modification, get the hand to come down, the palm, boom. Or...
Wait a minute. Wait, you said Kempo 1 and 3, not 1 and 4.
We're keeping that in! That's right, I even peaked the audio. She has to figure out how to edit that. Ha! Now we're going to do Kempo 2 and Kempo 3. Thank you very much. Actually, it should be 3 then 2. For the way my brain's currently working. Anyway, so he's going to do the straight punch here. 1, 2. Boom. Elbow comes up, down. And then he does the roundhouse punch on the other side. Hey! Okay, here's the point of all this madness, which we could probably rush through, and no one needs to see any of this. Playing with the combination back and forth gives us a couple of advantages. Advantage number one, you have to really know each of the individual components of self-defense. Advantage number two, I think memorization is, if you love it, great, but if not, it's a load of bunk. Because at the end of the day, for our forms, yes, you can memorize lots and lots of forms, and there's a benefit to that training, and if you love it, it's great, but you need to be able to flow through in a martial way all of these different positions and ideas, because he's never going to stay this way. He's not going to just let me do whatever I want to him. He's going to move, and it's all going to happen live anyway. So we're working on principles and being able to flow between the different principles. Even that, was a little stuttery at times. However, it helps get practice repping over and over again those ideas. Great, so let's go through all of Kempo 6. We've got that chop, palm away, upper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Elbow, boom, straight punch, palm, kidney. From here, that's the last roundhouse punch. I still pull back, parry, this one grabs. I'm gonna slap him right in the spare ribs. Delicious. The reality of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the heel of my palm and really drive that strike here. I'm then going to rotate his arm because I want him to turn up. And I am going to drive my hip up a little bit. I'm going to do an uppercut right beneath the elbow. I'm not trying to punch the air. I'm trying to snap his elbow again because you know what? I really like breaking this arm. From here, I pull on his broken arm because ha ha. And then I strike right into his spare ribs again. Because you know what? It was delicious the first time. Now he's going to roundhouse punch me again. I'm going to do a modified cross block where I cover my head. I rotate down and in. I like behind the shoulder as a good spot for what we call a straight arm bar. I'm going to lift his chin. Elbow down. And that is the end of our form. Now, if you want to be slightly more violent, especially for the gentleman, as you do the shin lift, but kind of just comes up aggressively. We'll put it that way. And then you drive the elbow down and try and push him into the floor. Let's go through one full set where I'm going to say every move as we go. He swings, double blade, chop, palm, upper, other side. Parry, parry, hammer fist, groin. Straight punch, parry, brush block, elbow break, make sure you get your roll, down, elbow to the face. From there, this is what we call a crane or a pick, palm face, punch to the kidney. Then he's got another roundhouse punch, parry, parry, palm heel to the ribs, break the arm, back fist to the ribs. He swings, I do my cross block, straight arm bar takedown, I got my elbow forward, shin lift, elbow down. That's the entirety of Kempo 6. If I was practicing this, I would start working with one. I could do it in the air. Everything still works out the same. And work on getting a nice flow so when you do it with your partner, you can start increasing some of that speed and energy, especially for advanced degrees. Now, really important for this form, pay attention to the feet and the stepping. It doesn't have really low traditional stances. However, almost the entire stance, it's in like a modified side stance or an intermediate stance. It's not forward. So what's going to happen as you practice is that sideways position is going to make a huge difference in exactly how you're engaging with each limb. Because if you really think about these self-defenses, one of the common elements is I am focusing on turning my attention to the limb. I'm destroying this limb instead of focusing on all of the individual or the power they might have. Once I do something to the limb, I'm engaging here. Same thing for the next one. I've got some limb destruction, and then it pulls into going into the body. Same thing here, focused on the limb. I'm trying to get all my force, my body, my belly button, my attention is at the limb for a second. Then I engage with the body. Same thing for the other one. Boom. No limb destruction, but first I deal. Boom, here. Then here for my last one. Limb destruction again, then back to the body. So there's this constant play between focusing all of your attention on the smaller parts to do damage and then rotating back into the person. Hope you guys have some fun with that form. Really important as you're practicing. If you have any questions, you can always leave a comment down below. Students of our school, you can always also send us a message in any of the ways you can find us, and there's a lot of those. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, or subscribe if you have an interest in martial arts and want to see more from us and our team. Enjoy, everybody. Are we on? Hey team, hey team. What my life? Yeah. You know, it's way harder to do this while talking and doing it and thinking about what I have to say next all at once, because I don't script these. You think I script these. There's no reason for me to script these.